this is Tony from Freedom at the Crossroads, helping you look better, feel better without the pressure. Welcome to the second episode of Loose Tea Talk. I'm just gonna reach over here off camera, grab my cup of tea because it is Loose Tea Talk. Delightful. Well, as you know, the week is almost gone. The summer is creeping in. It is a bright, beautiful spring day here in the Chi-Town. Woo! So what's my latest rant today? Well, we're going to talk relationships, ladies. Yes, 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 yes. And for those of you who follow my blog on freedomatthecrossroads.com, you will recognize some of these tips and little mini discussions on the dating scene, and you'll benefit greatly from my 10 tips to live a drama-free life for the single women. And it just brings to mind these reality TV shows that are supposed to be geared to real life dating and the difficulty of dating and finding love. You know what I'm talking about. I'm talking about The Bachelor and The Bachelorette. It's the season for these crap time shows to come online, you know, as the great drama shows for the season, you know, go into the whole rerun segments and all of that. And now it's time for all the nonsensical shows to come on during the summer when people are less engaged and our brains have basically gone on vacation. So, on to The Bachelor and The Bachelorette. Not a fan, people. Not a fan. Because the thing about it is, it's supposed to be talking about, you know, it's supposed to be an exercise in finding love and being vulnerable and being drama-free, but it is not drama-free, people. It is crazy. Okay, case in point. Okay, last season on The Bachelor, I don't know why I watched this show. I just watch it, I think, for, you know, it's kind of like watching a train wreck, or arriving at the scene of a 10-car pileup and just going, oh my God, what a disaster. And that's kind of the same mentality I have when I watch these dating shows. So the guy has like a gazillion women, 20 plus women, vying for his attention. He tells everyone that they're special. He deep throats every single one, and then at the end of the day, he can't even make up his mind. Okay, ridiculous. So about this dating shows that are supposed to be reality based but have no basis in reality whatsoever. I'm talking The Bachelorette and The Bachelor. And yes, I'm on a rant about that because this is the season for that as we come into the warm, you know, temperatures and all of that. And I'm just like, okay, this is pretty common sense. Okay, now, rule number one, ladies. And like I said, check out my blog on freedomatthecrossroads.com. I do have an article written up about tips for a drama-free single life for the single gals. And, gotta love my tea. Okay. If the guy is telling every woman on the planet, well, that they're special, red flag. If he tells you to call him at a certain time, red flag. If he tells you you can't come over to his place, or if he's coming over to your place all the time, red flag. That's not a relationship. It's more like a booty call. Now, I know, ladies, I'm dating myself by saying booty call because I'm sure millennials have a whole different term that's much more colorful to describe that. But you get my drift here. Drama, 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 drama ages you. And it just creates so much angst. It really, you know, hammers down your self-esteem, your sense of self, your sense of worth, and it just gives you unnecessary drama, and it's mentally and emotionally debilitating. So why put up with the drama? There's nothing to say you can't enjoy the single life, you can't enjoy the dating scene, but look out for those red flags and don't lie to yourselves, ladies. Case in point, back to this show, what is it, The Bachelor. Okay, he's supposedly looking for Miss Right, to be his missus. And but the way they go about this on these shows, even from the Bachelorette standpoint, the same thing. He literally has to dip his toe in every well. And I use that as a metaphor for every woman on the show. He kisses her in some way, shape, or form. It is deceptive because he's telling all these women that he has a connection with them on some level, that they're special, that there's something they can build upon, when in reality that's not the case. I mean, the proof is in the pudding. At the end of the show this past season, he couldn't make up his freaking mind. He was in love with two women, literally. He said, in love with two women, to the point that the one that he chose, he ended up, oh my goodness, I felt so bad for her. He ended up changing his mind on her and going back to somebody he had already dismissed from the show. I'm like, really? Am I jaded? Yeah, because a lot of people put out drama unnecessarily, and it's so harmful and it's so destructive. And ladies, 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 as I tell all my girlfriends out there, if you've been quote unquote dating a guy for 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and he still hasn't put a ring on it, he's probably not going to do that. So that's a perfect time for you to reevaluate and say, okay, is this good for me? Am I wasting my time? Probably. Uh, is he perhaps engaged in another relationship? Possibly. Or he could just be having an open relationship and you not knowing that it's an open relationship. So you see where I'm going with this? So yeah, ladies, I had to put the hair up a little bit. It was getting way too warm around these parts and kind of humid. I love the heat. I'm a tropical girl, but I had to have my limits. But anyway, back to the whole red flag thing in terms of relationships with men, and how sometimes people, when they're not being straight with you, and you on some level, your feminine intuition is kicking in and it's flashing these red lights saying danger, 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 and you don't listen. I don't know what to tell you. I've had this same discussion with other women, girlfriends, even women on Facebook, and it was like, I XYZ went on a date with this guy, but the strangest thing about it is he said he would call me, or he did something really weird with the phone number, or XYZ. When people start doing weird, when people start acting weird, male or female, when they start acting weird, that's a red flag that there's some kind of deception involved in that whole arrangement, in that whole encounter. When you run into people, girls, when you run into guys and all of a sudden they run into you at the post office and they're like, baby, can I get your number? And I'm like, oh, you can't. Bye. You're weird. That's it. Yeah. Stick with that intuition that's telling you there's something off about that. Yeah. Because honestly, I don't care how attractive you find somebody, male or female. It is weird to go up to somebody and say, hey, baby, can I get your number? Or something else to that effect. I just think it's weird and desperate. And there's something deceptive involved with that. And maybe that has to do, maybe my red flags and my conspiracy things and my danger signals are flashing because I watch too much sci-fi and CSI. But girl, let me tell you, there are some weirdos out there. And if you don't want to end up in a windowless van somewhere out in the wilderness and your family looking for you, listen to that intuition. Yeah, I know, maybe I'm freaking you out, but it's better to err on the side of caution. Same thing when you go to a place, or go out to an event and things of that nature. When people start acting kind of shady, like they don't want to introduce you to their friends, and you've been going out, mind you, you've been going out for months on end, and still you haven't even met a good friend of somebody that's close to them, their friend, and you've never shown up at their house or been allowed to go to their house, or there's always some excuses about why it's not a good idea for you to go to his house. The guy is got deception involved. I hate to tell you, but you know what, word to the wise, run, girl, like the movie Get Out. So, having said that, that's just a little bit of a discussion on living a drama free life for the single gals out there and the single guys, too. My advice, it works, both ways. It's an equal opportunity kind of advice session. But that's all we're talking about. We're just keeping it real here on Loose Tea Talk. We can talk about anything, but particularly today's episode is all about dating and advice and tips for women living, single gals out there, keeping it real, killing it out there at work. But you also want to be, in a healthy zone in terms of relationships too. So this is Tonya, Freedom of the Crossroads, helping you look better, feel better without the pressure. And yes, ladies, listen to your intuition. Your intuition, 9 times out of 10, won't lead you astray. Bye.